Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Just My Overthoughts. It's been a while, so I figured I'd fire it up and get it going again. They say you're not good at your craft until you do 10,000 hours of what you do, and at my current pace, it would probably take me about 50, 60 years, so I should probably speed that up a little. Before we get into the discussion today, make sure to follow me on Twitter at Mason Charles Co. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever, all the YouTube stuff. And yeah, let's just hop into it. By the way, today is February 9th, Tuesday. So I don't know. If you're listening in the future, if I talk about COVID stuff or something, that's where we're at. All right. I wanted to talk today about aliens. Cause here's the thing, man. I've always just found like the idea of extraterrestrial life fascinating. Obviously, I mean, who doesn't? The idea that there's living beings out there that potentially are more developed than us is exciting, and it seems surreal in a way, just because we're so used to being grounded here on Earth and used to our own experiences. There's a lot of people that completely shut out the idea that there even could be aliens, which I think is just completely foolish. I think if I think you are smarter to say I am 100% sure aliens exist than you were to say I am 100% sure aliens don't exist. And I mean, this is why. I believe it's called the Drake equation. I might have this wrong. It's the amount of planets that are inhabitable by life. And dude, there's hella. Like, there's so fucking many. And none of them have life, though. None of them. And I mean, these aren't even planets like outside of the galaxy. And we're talking we're talking planets like not that far from the solar system. I mean, if you look at there's diagrams out there. If you look at the solar system, and it'll zoom out to the Milky Way. You can't even see where the solar system is. We're barely a speck of dust. So, if our solar system is barely a speck of dust in the Milky Way, and there's potentially infinite galaxies, dude, come on, there's fucking aliens. I mean, seriously, and I'll just get into it now. I mean, there's a Netflix documentary on Bob Lazar. Um, and basically, if you don't know the story of Bob Lazar, I won't go too deep into it because the documentary does a really good job of explaining his background, and all this information is out there. But he basically, I'll be safe here and say, claims to have worked at Area 51, and I believe what was called S4, which was like a base within Area 51, and his job was to reverse engineer alien technology that the United States government had um, grabbed a hold of somehow, whether it was given to them or they found it. And his job was to essentially figure out how it worked. So essentially, take it apart and then put it back together, reverse engineer it to figure out how they could do it themselves. Now, the problem is what they were working with was not humanly possible, the technology. The way he described it, which is the way I understood it well, basically, it would bend gravity in front of you and pull you forward. So instead of a propulsion system, like you're letting out gas and then it's pushing you, you're essentially moving gravity to pull you. So the way he described it was, if you have a bowling ball on a bed, it'll just stay still. But if you put your fist into the bed really hard, the bowling ball will roll towards you. So essentially, if the mattress is space and time, and the bowling ball is the ship, or yeah, the bowling ball is the ship. The bowling ball is forcing that hand onto the bed, forcing the space and time to bend around it, and therefore pull it forward. And this also means you can, you can go very fast and turn on a dime. There's the Pentagon videos that were released recently of confirmed UFO. People were talking about this a lot, but then I kind of got brushed over. Confirmed UFO by the fucking Air Force. Confirmed UFO. And they went and chased after it, and it was maneuvering in ways not humanly possible in any aircraft that was available at the time or still is available right now. So I think if aliens haven't visited Earth, there is a level above the military, and there's either aliens have visited Earth, or there's this level above the military that is so top secret that not even dudes that are flying, top of the line Air Force pilots know remotely the technology behind it. So yeah, but Bob Lazar, back to Bob Lazar. He was reverse engineering this technology, and he came out first anonymously, and eventually ended up saying his name, showing his face, because it kind of got exposed. I think he kind of had to. And the reason I believe this dude is because of a few things. First of all, the documentary puts you in a position, it's kind of a long watch, it puts you in a position where you either fully believe him or you think he's psychotic and insane. But so much of the documentary is just kind of telling you his background, showing you he built fucking rocket bikes as a kid, like in middle school and high school. He was building rocket bikes, and so it puts you in this position where you know exactly who Bob Lazar is. So now it's up to you to determine whether he's telling the truth or he's just a psychopath. And he hasn't profited really off of this. I mean, the FBI is constantly raiding his shit. Because of this element that they didn't have before. I forget what it was called, but they thought that he took some, and so they keep trying to search and find it. But yeah, he was also on Rogan, and that was a great podcast. And yeah, man. Also, he worked for this company, this engineering company, before he got this Area 51 job. And he was, he's MIT educated. He went to, I think, maybe Cal too, somewhere in California. But all of his records are washed from those schools and from that engineering place he worked. So, this is clearly someone would be having to step in and tell these people to wipe the records of him. Now, you could just say, what if he's lying about all this? There's there's witnesses. There's people that were his roommate, like people that were friends with him in college saying he went to class every day and stuff. And then also with the engineering company, there's a newspaper article about the company and something that they had just done, some project they had completed. And Bob Lazar was photographed and listed in the article. So if the company didn't think that Bob Lazar worked for them, then the newspaper did, I guess. So, I don't know. He would have been having to lie to his wife, his mom, his kids, everyone since I think the early 80s or so. So dude, if you just write off aliens being a possibility, fuck you. Yeah, man, and also people seem to think that aliens would just try to harm and take over and use us for our resources, enslave us, all this crazy shit. But there's another Rogan documentary. Oh, man, I need to find the name of this so I can tell you guys, because it's such an incredible story. This guy, he has the theory that, they are so... it's not his only theory. There's a couple theories he has about it. But he doesn't think that aliens are trying to harm us, because basically it would have happened already. They would have just done it, and it would be over in a split second. Especially if you listen to this guy's story, you'll get a better idea of potentially the technology they have. Now, again, this guy was on Rogan, and he could be just insane, but there were 7 other witnesses that had the exact same accounts, and it's just one of those. It's one of those things where you just got to listen to it for yourself. There's nothing I can say to make you believe or not believe it, but Rogan UFO podcast. Yeah, I don't know, but I just think if you don't believe aliens exist at all, you're dumb. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. I am 100% certain. I am 100% certain that aliens exist, And I'm about 90% certain that they have been within Earth's atmosphere at the very least. Back to Bob Lazar, he said some of these parts or ships that they had like a few ships or whatever, and that some of them are seriously damaged. So maybe they could have been crashed at some point. I don't know how the U.S. government would have got a hold of these, but what I do think, and I agree with the other guy, I need to remember his name, but the other guy that was on Rogan, I agree with him in that I believe that aliens know that humans aren't ready for that shit yet. They just see us launching bombs at each other and not helping each other out, and they just think we're a bunch of savages. So why would they? I mean, here's the thing, if you're not going to go into, you're not going to go into a wolf's den to try to make friends with the wolves. Even though they might be friends with you, you're just not going to take that risk because the wolves don't have that understanding of, I could help them and all that stuff. Instead, the wolves are just going to want to protect themselves. So, and eat and get resources for themselves, which is what humans would do. They would want to protect themselves, and they would instantly, every country would be hitting these aliens up. Like, how do we get the most powerful thing? It would just become a heightened arms race to what it already is because of this alien technology being introduced. And I think aliens probably realize that. I think they do. Another theory is that these beings are humans from the future, which I think is really interesting because, think about a couple thousand years ago, humans weren't nearly as developed, obviously, as we are now. So in a couple thousand years, who's to say we don't look a little different? Since we have this technology now, in 1,000 years, will we even have to use our muscles? Will we be going out? Will we be going outside the same? Will all of what we consider, will all of the races essentially kind of blend into one over time? And that would make sense for these kind of smaller, frail, gray aliens. Maybe not gray, but if you think about it, we have to do way less shit now. I mean, at one point, there wasn't such a thing as, like, a thing to jack a car up in the air. So you had to figure that out. And now you can just take it to a shop and just have a mechanical lift go, and then you're right under it. But with that, too, I mean, it's like we used to have to chop wood. Now we have chainsaws, and we're going to have fucking lasers soon. So who's to say our bodies won't be small and frail and we won't have these massive heads, And if in 2,000 years, I mean, who knows? I mean, who knows if Earth is going to exist? But yeah, I mean, I could see that. I could see humans kind of molding into all different types of humans, molding into kind of one, maybe not one exact look, but one general kind of like racially ambiguous, frail, wide-eyed little creature. And we would be fucked, basically, is what I'm saying. I mean, if they can bend space and time, what kind of firepower would they have? Or maybe they're peaceful beings and they don't have, like, earth-destroying weapons like that. Maybe it's just technology that lets them explore and get resources in a way that isn't just, like, killing people and taking theirs. Huh. All right, well, I guess that's enough alien talk. I don't get to talk about shit like this on the Co Show. So it's good to just, I mean, I could sit down with someone and just, talk forever about that shit. This is kind of why, this is why it's hard to have a one-person podcast. I feel like this alien conversation, it was about 15 minutes. I feel like this alien conversation could be 30 minutes if I had another person here just to, like, bounce ideas off my brain. They don't even have to talk that much, but just to kind of key in every once in a while and say a thought they have just to keep me moving. Because it's tough. I mean, once you reach the end of the road with your thought, it's like, but I still have to keep talking. Yeah, all right. Lil Uzi got a fucking $24 million diamond in his head. So, I don't know the full story on this. I mean, I kind of do, I guess. But apparently he had been paying for this for years. And this pink diamond, he's got it right here in his forehead. I'm guessing you've seen it at this point. I'm pretty late on this. But yeah, 24 mil. And the crazy thing is the reason we know it's 24 mil is he got it appraised. And appraisals are they can be iffy, so it's probably not exactly 24. But when you get it appraised for that much, the insurance just shoots up. So he just paid potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars to flex. That's pretty tough. Yeah, and he just went to Eliante, this famous, I mean, you've probably heard his name in rap songs, and this famous jeweler, and they didn't think he was serious at first when he wanted to put it in his head. But here's the thing. I heard this conversation on another podcast. Oh, God, this is bad. I'm just repeating other podcast bits. But, here's the thing, man. At the end of the day, this is creative, Ooh, changing the light. Okay. This is creative, I mean, if you say Jeff Bezos, you have to spend $24 million. What do you think Jeff Bezos is buying? Just some property or some shit? Investing? Fucking stock for his warehouse? I mean, if you give Uzi 24, though, he's going to put a fucking diamond in his head. And that's fun. So whether you think it's stupid, which it is, or you think it's super dope, which, I mean, I don't think it necessarily it's kind of growing on me, You know what? No, I'm in full support of this. Because here's the thing, man. If you're going to spend your money like this, and, especially as a rapper, because we've seen rappers get got for jewelry all the time, especially as a rapper, having a literal $24 million price tag on your head. I mean, that's brave. It's unique. It's just dope, man. That's the biggest flex ever. Having a diamond in your forehead, bro. I would never do it, but I think I would be boring if I got... would I? What would I buy if I got $24 million? Other than, a house and a car. What's some fun shit I would buy? I mean, that's the thing, man. It's hard to be creative with money. I mean, you can do really cool shit with money, but you can't be creative with money. I feel like that's an interesting distinction, too, because you see a lot of people get money and then they try to break into a creative field like music. Like Vin Diesel's making fucking music, and you got people trying to be stand-up comedians that have never stepped on a stage in their life. I feel like people don't realize just because you're successful and you have money, that does not mean you can be creative. It takes a true creative person to do shit like this. And I would like to think I'm creative, but I would never even think to do something like that. I mean, he got the shit pierced in his fucking forehead, dude. Jesus Christ. Gucci Mane's iconic iced out Bart Simpson. See, but that's a chain. It's I guess you can be creative in what jewelry you get, I guess, but at the end of the day, you're picking a character you like and fucking dripping it out, putting diamonds on it. You're picking, the 8-ball chain for Trippie Redd is cool. It's got the spikes on it, but at the end of the day, it's cool because it's diamonds. And I think, I can't remember. This might be a Tekashi chain, actually. There's a couple where, the mouth opens. That shit's actually dope. That's creative. It takes, precision, all that shit to get that to work. But, just getting a chain, it's, cool, man. Cool. But all that shows is that you have money. That doesn't show... I guess, that's valuable, though. Showing that you have money is valuable to a lot of people. So, I guess, it works for a reason. Also, how worth it is this for Uzi as a business decision? aside from, wanting to look cool and that shit. Hydro Flask ASMR? No, I don't want this time. What was I saying? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, but the diamond. Yeah. If you get a chain, it just shows you have money. Put a fucking diamond in your head, it shows you have money and you're creative, which I respect. And like I said, man, he's legit taking a risk by doing this. People don't realize. I feel like people don't realize the risk he's taken. Everyone's seen the meme, I think, of Uzi's face photoshopped into as a Captain Marvel. Who's the dude with the stone in his face? I don't fucking know. And Thanos just ripping it out. But I mean, X got killed for a Louis bag. You know? What's someone gonna do for a $24 million diamond in your head? That's all I'm saying. It's a little scary, but no, I mean it's cool though. It's just cool at the end of the day. All right. Let's see, what else do I got? Okay, so I guess, actually no, I'm about to talk about the Super Bowl tomorrow. I can't talk about sports on this, dude. I just gravitate towards sports, but I need to not. Salt Bay fed Conor McGregor $1,000 piece of steak. That was gold. So that's dope. Dude, has Salt Bay profited the most from a meme ever? Because I know he was this big chef. I know he was a celebrity before. But has he profited the most from being a meme ever? Think about it. Before, I mean, he was doing the salt shit. He was already a great chef. I mean, you can't just become a great chef after you become a meme in that amount of time. So he was a great chef before. But now, I mean, this dude, I'm pretty sure just gets paid pretty much for appearances like a celebrity. It's like there's the gold steak you got to buy, but then there's Salt Bay's cost too. It's not just, he's making a public appearance for you. So you got to pay for that too. I don't know. And then there's that video of that girl twerking in front of Salt Bay, and the dude just her boyfriend just storms in like, what the fuck? Man, I wonder how, I said at the beginning of this, takes you 10,000 hours to perfect your craft. I wonder how long he has been cooking for. How long he's been doing this shit. Also, how hard is it to, does he buy edible gold foil or something? I wonder what his margins are. Because it's $1,000 piece of steak, but it is wrapped in gold, and it's expensive steak to begin with. But there's no way it's a G, though. A G of gold, I mean, it's got to be more than just a thin layer coated. But yeah, I mean, like I said, that's the Salt Bay cost, man. It's not just a gold piece of steak. Salt Bay's feeding it to you. Salt Bay put it in Connor's mouth. Pause. All right. Also, by the way, Kim Kardashian needs to stop fucking bullshitting. She's saying these pictures are by her kids. God damn it. I should have set up the display thing. But, yeah. I mean, her kids, apparently her kids are like professional artists already. Let's see. Wolf painting by Ryan. Yeah, no, Northwest. How old is Northwest? If Northwest is older than I think she is, then I'll believe this. Northwest age. She's 7 years old. Yeah, she did not make this picture. Hold on, let me figure out how to do this shit on the fly. Sorry, guys. And we'll go display capture. All right, yeah, but there's these pictures of just, it looks like something that you could buy at an art gallery. If they want me to believe that their kid made this, I need to see a live stream of them painting the whole thing. Not just part of it, the whole fucking thing. Because I am not buying it whatsoever. Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm stalling right now. I'm trying to get this up and going. And bang. Okay. And there we go. Okay. Bang. All right, yeah. This, you think a 7-year-old made this, dude? Is she that rich where, like, I mean, well, they are that rich. No matter how, I mean, they are that rich. Is is she rich enough to where, is she so rich that she knows she doesn't even have to do school? Like, are they not making her get an education? Like, is she just painting all fucking day for the 7 years she's been alive? Because I think it would take 7 years of experience to do this shit. Oh, wait, Ryan, the daughter. Wait, Ryan Romulus. Oh no, this Ryan kid is little too. Yeah. So this is the friend. I mean, that's still incredible. I am more likely to believe that's a 7-year-old, but there's just no way. I mean, it's just not a thing. It didn't happen. Yeah. So with that being said, what else do we got in here? So did I talk about Conor getting dinged up by Poirier? I'm not sure if I actually did. No, I talked about the UFC last time, but it was before the Conor fight. So, yeah, man, Conor just he just doesn't have it anymore. I don't think. Not like that. Not like a title fight. I don't think he's there anymore. I think which is fine, dude. I'd rather see him out there be happy than, as much as I like to see him talking shit and going out there with energy and just whooping people. I would definitely rather see him be happy. I mean, I'm always rooting for people to be happy, and he's sparring with this kid and on their marble floors in their mansion, and I just, it seems like a good life to have. So I'm happy for it. But yeah, I mean, what do we got coming up? Anything cool coming up? I mean, my mom's getting a vaccine, so that's sick. She's a teacher, if you don't know, so that's why. And that's exciting. My grandparents, I believe all of them have gotten their first round of the vaccine. So I'm excited about that. Honestly, I just hope everyone I know gets the vaccine. I'm much more worried about people I know getting the vaccine than me. Just cuz, I'm not going to say if I get it, I get it, cuz I'm being careful and I'm trying my hardest not to get it. But I would say the main reason I really don't want to get it is so I don't give it to other people. And that's why I'm still being careful, because I know, my parents are still likely to be fine, but less likely than me. So and if I killed either of my parents, I would never be able to live with myself. That was dark. Yeah. So let's see. I feel like this started off hot and it's just really tailing off now. I came in hot with the aliens. All right. Oh yeah. So I learned recently that I went to San Diego State for 2 years, and I'm going to UW-Bothell this year. If you don't know, and I just learned that the Greek system at SDSU is just done. It's just gone. It's like one of the biggest houses every kid dropped. And what's crazy, I'm not rooting. I wasn't rooting for that. Just because I know, that's the life of the school, is the Greek system. But I did call it. I knew that shit was going to happen 2 years ago. I was like, this is before, well, at that point, I didn't know I was going to come back after 2 years, but I was like, before I leave, the Greek system will be done. And when I left, it was going downhill bad, but now it's just done. So it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, they're used to getting like 100,000 applicants. I don't think anyone's going to be trying to go there if there's no Greek system. I mean, they're still going to party, though. They'll find a way. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I like it. I loved California, but this is my spot, man. I'm supposed to be up here. All right, we're 30 minutes in. Again, I would like to talk for longer, but I just not good at it yet. Again, I'm on my way to that 10,000 hour mark. Just 50 years to go. Hopefully I'll get to 10,000 hours of podcasting before I die. Well, if I do get to 10,000 hours of podcasting before I die, that probably means it was my job. So hopefully I really do. Because that's my dream. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to be a professional podcaster someday. Fuck it. I'll just say it. I'll say it. Yeah. I'm going to be that. I'll say it. No, probably not. But, yeah, thanks for listening. If you made it this far, I don't know why, but you're dope. Like, subscribe, comment, Twitter, @MasonCharlesCo. I think that's about it. Catch the Co Show tomorrow. We'll be posting a Super Bowl recap. Talk a little bit about Tom Brady winning his 7th. Whether or not we thought it was Patrick Mahomes' fault or not. All that business. And we'll get into that tomorrow. So, yeah. Thank you. Peace.